Hey, what's going on? Cory and Benny from Lost Symphony here, back with another song breakdown. Today we're going to do Conflagration off of Chapter 2.
Surprising I'm not smoking weed because I'm in Cory's studio, but Conflagration is about a giant fire. Usually the one that's going into my face and then my lungs.
Is that what it really is?
No. No, the reason we call it Conflagration is because the song, so if you guys haven't heard it yet, and we'll start off with it, it starts off with this guy named Conrad Simon, who basically, if there was a Mount Midoriyama of guitar, this guy's climbed to the top of it and then basically jerked off onto everybody. Sorry, Conrad. It's true. His playing is so meticulous. This is... Just play it, dude. Yeah. This is why it's called Conflagration. Thanks, Conrad.
So the first time we heard that, I think we both just straight up shit our pants.
I know what I said. I was like, how do we make a song with this? And who the fuck's gonna follow that guy?
Yeah.
Can you just solo that? Because I want people to hear, like, every time we get a Conrad solo, we always solo it because we're like, this is what we'll never be able to do.
Yeah. It boggles the mind. It really does. And then to after that, we just go, hey, Matt LaPierre, you're up. We get this.
Goes on. Oh, there's more. That's a minute and 20 seconds. I have to say, of 3 records, I don't think we have any song that's literally that many notes. We may not even have as many notes on the rest of the record as the first minute and 20 seconds between Conrad Simon and Matt LaPierre, because they're both, I don't think they're of this world.
So it just reminded me listening to some, you know, it's been a while since we've listened to some of these tracks here, and just remembering, this is not Matt's first solo. We actually recorded a solo before Conrad did his thing. Matt heard Conrad's thing and was like, shit, I gotta step it up.
So it's funny because we've been working with Matt for years, and there's times we've gone back to songs, and because songs were recorded so later, he was like, oh, I'm way better than I was when I did that. And if you see him, too, like when Matt first started this project, he was like 7 pounds, like a little kid, and now he's like 400 pounds, just straight and muscle. Like, he doesn't even look the same. He looks like Matt ate himself, then worked out, and then ate again, and then he like, somehow with those sausage figures, just plays as fast as humanly fucking possible. So yeah, Matt's first solo on this was incredible. But then he heard Conrad, like he said, and he was like, oh no. And one day Cory called me up, he goes, I'm back in the studio with Matt working on Conflagration. I'm like, dude, we already finished that song. He's like, apparently we didn't. And then he sent me these tracks, and I'm like, oh, well then, I guess I like this better.
Yeah, this was a, you know, we spent a lot of time really dialing this in. This is even my old studios. We recorded in basically like a family room at my old house. And we just spent the day, and I think it's one of my favorite things that Matt's ever done.
Well, the thing that's cool about Matt is that Matt indulges Cory and I. So neither Cory nor I we're both guitarists. We're frustrated guitarists, and we play with these people that aren't even human.
Couldn't play this in a
No way. So what we try to do is, Matt is very open to suggestions. So he comes up with these amazing parts, but then he'll do like this tapping thing, and Cory's like, dude, what if you did this? And Matt's kind of like, oh. And like, he doesn't understand the big picture until that's going on in Cory's head or my head, but he'll indulge us, okay. I'll do that. And we'll put it all together and he'll be like, oh. And Cory and I go, this is exactly what we would be if we were great guitarists. Like, this is the solo that Cory would have played if he was able to, because Matt is indulging us like a human guitar machine.
Yeah, so it's a lot of fun to kind of work with Matt. And Jimmy Bell's another guy who worked with in the studio where we can kind of vicariously live through.
Not mold them, but like they do takes, and we're like, because the thing is, someone like Jimmy or Matt, they do so much genius shit. They don't know where the magic is. It's all magic. So it's like, dude, you just did this thing 6 takes ago. What was that? And he's like, oh, this. So the job for us is to reel in someone like a Matt LaPierre or a Jimmy Bell and go, dude, if you did this, if you did that, because they have it's like they're getting so many notes in their brain that we have to like almost synthesize it for them. So it's kind of like a very collaborative process with guys like that.
Yeah, and you can see, like, especially with this one where we were working it out, like literally kind of writing it as we went. So there's punch-ins, there's all sorts of things, and we were really careful because Matt came in kind of with a chip on his shoulders, like I want to crush this solo. So we took a lot of time to get it where it is, and I'm just realizing now that after Matt left, I threw a harmony on here.
You played the harmony?
I think so. It says Cory Harm, so let's see what Matt had here with the harmony.
That's interesting. That's cool. I should probably sold the entire solo. So this is an example. So this song is an example. Look, I know a lot of people say, oh, you comp things and all that. It's not that we comped it. It's the fact that Matt and Cory and myself all composed it together. I mean, we're not taking anything away from Matt, but we'd sit there and we'd go, I remember like he did one of the solos, I had done one of the solos, and we sat there and we, not Frankenstein it, but basically worked so meticulous section by section and going, what would be the coolest thing here? Because he has a minute straight, which is a long time to create an interesting solo that goes places, especially when you're playing as fast as Matt is, and coming after Conrad Simon, who's literally just not, again, of this world.
Yeah, and what Matt will often do is he'll come in with the licks and the runs and everything that he's worked out, and then we'll kind of go like, all right, where does that fit? Where does that work? Or this part is killer. What if we connected it with this part? So it's kind of fun. It's collaborative, and like I said, the last we want is it to sound like an improv solo. It has to fit, locked in right with everything else.
I actually have to say, Ollie was the same way. That Ollie, Jimmy, and Matt all allowed us to use their genius to help compose together in a collaborative process. So where a lot of these guitar players, like Kelly just sends us shit and it's fucking amazing. Or Conrad, like he just sent us that, we opened it up and our face was melted.
Imagine if we could actually work with Kelly. Once again, we've never met Kelly in person. And I imagine if we were sitting in the studio with him, the stuff that we could come up with would just be insane.
But it's not necessary at this point because Kelly's so great. But it's one of those.
He doesn't need it.
He doesn't need it, but it's one of those things where it's really fun. And again, where a lot of people are like, oh, well, he just soloed over this or Jimmy just did. No. We went through 100 takes of some of these things and we composed it together. Like Ollie, I remember when we worked on one of the songs, we did like so many takes, Frankensteined it together. He hated how it sounded, went back and learned what we Frankensteined and then came back and played it like a real solo. So like, I don't want to say it's like this because Matt's so good, he can do it on the spot, but we literally went measure by measure and composed it together. Remember that one specific part. Go back to that. We'd done something, and Cory and I had looked at each other, and he did. I wasn't here for this part, but he had done this at another take, and we just were like, "What the fuck is that?" Because Matt,
his tapping runs mixed with sweeps are just on another level.
So Matt's like a new school guy, where he's like, Angel Vivaldi and Andy James and Jason Richardson, where they all are like, let's figure out the hardest thing to play and then do it. And he actually does this stuff, and he'll come in and play it. And the feeling he has too, it's not devoid of feeling like a lot of these fucking videos. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Matt's awesome.
He's pretty damn good.